Hello everyone, I'm Chen Xiu from Zhejiang Agriculture and Forestry University. Today's topic is tea ceremony. Tea for guests, 客来敬茶, is a common practice in China since tea ceremony is highly valued as an expression of Chinese etiquette. When a guest comes for a visit, a host will serve with a cup of fragrant tea, implying three collocations. The first is to show respect to the guest, which is a basic principle in tea ceremony. The second is to imply pure friendship between the guest and the host, in accordance with a Chinese saying, which goes, the friendship between noble people appears indifferent, but is pure like water. The hospitality of the host is expressed via a cup of tea. The third is to enliven the atmosphere so that the host and the guest won't be constrained or embarrassed. In another word, mutual communication is carried on in tea service and tea drinking. Then, how to brew a cup of tea for a guest? What tips a guest is expected to follow when he is offering with a cup of tea? Please follow me. In simple terms, tea ceremony is a skill of preparing the perfect cup of tea. However, to make it, we are supposed to take many factors into consideration. For instance, it is vital to choose appropriate tea utensils and water temperature, according to shapes of tea leaves, tea quality, and tea variety. Today, let's learn how to brew precious green tea with pleasing shape. Since about 70% of green tea in the world is from China, and in China, 70% to 75% of green tea is produced in Jiangsu province and Zhejiang province. Firstly, make a salute. We are supposed to start with etiquette and end up with etiquette. Etiquette is an essential part in tea ceremony. Make a salute. Take out tea wares. Put them in a proper position for the convenience of operation. Turn over the glass. The next step is to warm the glass. This step prepares for the emanation of the fragrance. First, pour around 1/4 of water into the glass anti-clockwise. Okay, now let's warm the glass. Turn the glass gently anti-clockwise. Make the water reach the rim of the glass without spilling it. And then pour the water into tea basin. The following step is to put tea. Firstly, put some dry tea leaves into the tea holder and appreciate the shapes. Okay, now let's divide the dry tea leaves into 3 parts evenly and put them into the 3 glasses separately. Then, we moisten the tea. Pour a little amount of water in the glasses, anti-clockwise. Make the water just cover the tea leaves. Why do we have this step? It is to make the tea leaves unfold and give out the fragrance more fully. Next, we shake fragrance. Shake the glass gently, and you may see tea leaves dancing with rich fragrance in the glass. Then, let's do high water pouring. Pour water high above the glass to make the tea leaves roll in it. Do not fill the glass too full. It is advisable to make the glass 70% to 80% full. Then serve the tea to guests. Please have tea. Put away the tea wares. Brewing tea is the same as being a man. No matter what we do, we should carry it through from the beginning to the end. Putting away the tea wares is as important as taking them out. Put the tea wares back to your operation area. Lastly, make a salute. We start with etiquette and end up with etiquette. We need to pay attention to 3 extremely important skills or tips during the brewing process. The first involves water temperature. Green tea leaves are quite tender when plucked, just with 1 bud and 1 leaf. So the requirement of water temperature to brew is at 80 degrees centigrade or 85 degrees centigrade. The next is about brewing time. Tea does not taste good if we drink it as soon as it is made. What we need to do is to wait for about 2 to 3 minutes till the green tea gives forth internal fragrance. The third one is about the quantity of tea leaves we put in the glass. As for the quantity of green tea leaves, the ratio between tea leaves and water is 1:50. That is to say, 1 gram of tea leaves should be brewed with 50 milliliters of water. As for this kind of glass, it is best to pour 2 to 3 grams of tea leaves. Certainly, the quantity of tea leaves also lies in your guest's preference. If they are fond of strong tea, you can add more tea leaves appropriately. Of course, you can reduce the quantity if weak tea is preferred. Indeed, a cup of tea for guests is rich in meaning. In addition to regulations for observation in tea brewing, tea offering, tea appreciation, and tea refilling. Here are some tips for tea service. The first is about 70% of tea and full wine. It is a practice accepted by Chinese people that 70% of tea soup is served to guests, showing respect and consideration for fear that the guests might be hurt with a hot cup. The second is about the order to serve tea. Tea service follows the principle of the distinguished and the senior first. The following 2 tips are for guests. A guest is expected to express thanks after being offered a cup of tea like this. A senior guest would tap on the table with a forefinger, while a guest of the same age or younger age would tap on the table with a forefinger and a middle finger at the same time. A guest is not suggested to frown when drinking tea, for frowning might be misunderstood as a dislike to the served tea. Interestingly enough, the other side of serving tea to a visitor means to drive him away, which is a custom started to the Qing dynasty. That's from 1636 to 1912. If a host is impatient with a visitor but hesitates to speak out directly, he may say, "I'll sip tea for you." Hearing this, the visitor should be wise enough to say goodbye. Of course, tea won't be served. That's all for this topic. Thank you.